Yo, yo, yo. Welcome to the North Shore 9 podcast presented by FanDuel. I'm your host, Anthony DiNardo. With me, we have Ty in the house. And guess what, Tyler?
What's that?
No Jim.
No Jim.
No Jim. Bye, James. It's just us two. How you doing today?
Rolling in the deep. I was doing great, mainly because we don't have Jim tonight. And then I sat down here, and you hit that intro button. Reaching in my pockets, reaching around here. No chapstick.
I knew I knew it. I knew that's where you were going with this.
No chapstick. I have no chapstick. It's downstairs. I'm gonna have to wait till the IQ bar.
I was just gonna say, do we need to start off doing Cody's IQ bar?
We might have to do the IQ bar right now. I don't have chapstick.
Chapstick.
Now I'm gonna get really cranky.
Yeah, I gotta say, this is one of those days for me. I needed this tonight really, really bad. So no sponsors though, but I don't know.
Cheers to the Gatorade.
If you're an adult beverage and you want a sponsor, we'll gladly accept it. Likely, maybe. Talk to us. At any rate, though, Pirates won today, Tyler. I just got done doing a post-game show like 13 minutes ago. And we're back. But Pirates won today. They're 21-17. Pirates are in third place. Pirates are playing good baseball. I mean, again, that's that. Remember a week ago, right, when that St. Louis series happened, it was like, are they going to be good? Are they going to be bad? Here's our reasons. Just a week later, what did we say that we'd be saying?
I don't know. We said a lot of stuff that night.
Well, we said two things. Yeah, we're toast or we're so back. And guess what, Tyler?
Oh.
A week later, we're so back.
Brother, we were so back in like the day after that series.
Right.
I think me and Jim were on and we're back. It's over. This team's great.
Yeah.
Well, now let me just pat the old back here. I did mention as an outro to that show that the Pirates probably should have won 2 of those games against the Cardinals. Maybe it was a bit of an overreaction we all had. And to be fair, it was an honest overreaction because you lose 4 to the Cardinals the way they did. It really does sting. You got to give Don Kelly some credit here. And we'll get into Don Kelly a little bit as well tonight, but you got to give him credit for not letting this thing get a little bit out of hand.
Yeah. As Anthony says, we left some food on the table. And, if you know me, I don't like leaving any food on the table. I'll eat it all. No, we're not wasting food here.
They're over there picking up the coleslaw off the Permani brothers.
Oh, plate. Yeah, absolutely. The leftover, fries and slaws left on that wrapper.
That might be the best part. Is that those 1 or 2 leftover fries you got on that thing?
Yeah.
And you get to pick a little slaw with it. Yeah, it's good stuff.
For sure. Yeah, Pirates didn't do that in St. Louis Cardinal series. However, they made sure to get all of the cold slaw in these up next 2 with the Reds. They swept them, and then they took 2 out of 3 against the Diamondbacks. So 5 out of 6 since losing and getting swept to the Cardinals on our last show. So yeah, things are looking good. We are so back, baby. There's that. So back.
Yeah, it feels good. It feels good the way they're playing baseball right now. It's been enjoyable. I'm glad that we're still watching competitive baseball in May. What a low bar.
I'm sorry. So obviously I record this on a Mac. And if you have a Mac and you have an iPhone, you know what I'm talking about, right? Everything syncs up. So if you heard the little buzz here, I got a call. And now I'm seeing the visual voicemail coming up on my Mac of this call that I had. And guys, I did it again. I have to save his number. Bucko Mike just called once again. And now he's literally leaving a voicemail and it's still going. It is still going. So I'll play that soon, I guess. But
you might want to screen it.
Well, I'm reading it right now. It's lengthy. We got Pony, we got AJ stuff, we're going all over the place. So stay tuned for the Bucko Mike voicemail of the week, apparently. I don't know. This is going to be a new segment, apparently.
Keep them coming, Bucko Mike. Keep them coming, my man.
But yeah, the thing about the show is, we are a little over a month into this. We're pretty deep, right? It's closer to be the middle of May, right? We're into 6 days, basically. I think we owe some apologies, even this early in the season. There's a lot of, what? Dear Slim, I'm sorry. We need to write some letters to these players, these executives, these a lot of guys we owe some apologies, I think, to so far this early in the season.
Here's an autograph. Wrote it on a starter hat.
There it is. Bucko Mike, I'm sorry. You keep calling. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get into some apologies here because 1 month into it, as Bucko Mike joins the chat and says, DiNardo, check your phone. Like, we haven't spoken about it for the last 2 minutes. But we have some apologies to make, at least about 30, I don't know, 41, however many days into the season we are. I have no idea where we're at this point. What day is it? 7th?
May 7th.
Yeah, however many days into the season, we do have some probably backtracking to do. At least I do. For now.
Yeah. So we'll do that. It's 162 games into Don Kelly's tenure as a manager of the Pirates. Literally, the one season mark was today. 80 and 82 in that time frame. So with that said, let's talk a little Don Kelly today in his first full, technically, right, season, 162 games. We'll talk about him, and then we'll talk a little about this bullpen. First, of course, before we talk about all that, we'll get into Bucko Mike's voicemail. It's finally over. We'll get it afterwards. But before we get into the main meat and potatoes of the show, as always,
I want to ask you a bunch of questions, and I want to have them answered immediately.
So, Ty, two things. First things first. I forgot to even bring up the wheel. Told you it's one of those days, so I have that thing in my hand. So as I'm bringing up the wheel to even spin this thing, why don't you tell everyone what the question even is?
Yeah, so for today's question, it is going to be, if you had to wear one mascot costume to work every day for a year, which mascot are you choosing? There are some interesting choices to this. I have my choice. I don't want to give it away in case, just in case the winner of this wheel happens to be watching right now, which I think the odds are slim.
Right.
But let's shoot this thing out and see what kind of weirdo answer we can get out of this.
Yeah, that's fair. So we're spinning the wheel right now. Let's see who we're going to ask this question to. Oh, dear Lord.
Well,
Hannah Mears.
All right, Hannah.
I guess we're going to find out what mascot costume she wants to wear into work. Now, she can't. She's not going to pick the pirate parrot, is she? She can't do this to us.
Where do you think the pirate parrot ranks in terms of wearable costumes? I gotta actually pull up the mascots here.
It's solid. Like, it's probably not one of my firsts I think I would go to, but it's just like the pirate parrot's a solid mascot.
It is. I feel like it's just very wide, though. Like, getting a chair for an office would be tough with that thing.
But
the
isn't that
booty's
the
big.
point? Like,
The
isn't
booty's
the
big.
point to have the most obnoxious style of mascot? I mean, if you're going to do this, you're going to go all in and do that, right? Like, I can't even sit down because of this thing.
Yeah, but if I have to wear it for a year, I'm the one that has to pay for it. Am I going to stand at work every day? God, no.
Wait a minute. You know what just hit me? Hannah's a two-time contestant on this. She was speaking of your chapstick,
That's
you
right.
spoke this into existence, Tyler.
I did.
Wow. Sorry, I'm messaging her right now. Any rate, all right. Text sent. So
All right.
9:16
Gotta come
p.m.
through.
Message sent. All right. Well, let's find out what Hannah has to say. And I guess as promised, this thing's stupid. I have to play Bucko Mike's message now.
Let's hear it. If DiNardo can figure out how to work a phone.
Go back.
And DiNardo can't figure out how to work an iPhone.
No, it's
Anthony DiNardo. This is the views of Bucko Mike and no one else's opinion only. I've got a few things here. I don't know how long your voicemail is set up for, but we'll roll with it. Filipponi, Burnett, two of my most despised people that I dislike. Both AJ played in New York and Filipponi's born in New York. Filipponi tonight at 6:17 said the Pirates are World Series contenders, no cap, which means
Bucko Mike said no cap.
Bleeped. And then no cap, Filipponi, you're 60 years old. Why are you mentioning this? And go Pirates. You guys might need to be do a Jobu or a seance or something to reverse the pony curse. Have a good show. Good night. Peace.
That's it.
He called us to tell us he doesn't like AJ Burnett or Andrew Filipponi because both of them have a connection to New York.
That's it. That's it.
What
If you didn't know, Bucko Mike was on the Fan this week.
He was.
He got on with Pony to tell Pony that the curse, he has to stop it. He has to stop doing this stuff with the curse. And basically, Pony called him a bitch. And he won. And he was right because Bucko Mike had nothing to back it up. He made Bucko Mike look silly. So, Bucko Mike, you got to step up your game. I understand why you hate Pony, but do better next time, Bucko Mike. And then give us a real voicemail. But anyways, let's get to it. So, yeah, like the Pittsburgh Pirates, there's some people that really need some apologies from us. And, I mean, I think there's certainly one that stands out amongst us all. Before we get there, I think let's just start off with this guy. And it's because of the over and unders. I mean, Jim had an over and unders to both of us. We both took the under. And I think it was fair at the time. But Brandon Lowe.
Mm-hmm.
Brandon Lowe has 10 home runs. It's May 7th. He has 10 home runs, Tyler. What was the over and under on that? Like 24, 22 and a half, something like that?
It was low. It
Maybe
was
21?
low, not loud.
How stupid are we? Do we have to apologize to Brandon Lowe for saying like he's going to be good and that wasn't enough?
I mean, this dude is single-handedly winning baseball games right now. He just did it last night. And he contributed in a big way to one today. I don't know if we owe him an apology, just because I think we were all clamoring to get Brandon Lowe for this entire offseason. Did we expect this? No. I mean, the guy's playing like one of the best players in Major League Baseball. He's hitting the ball over the wall at a rate that I don't think any of us could have imagined, especially, just some of the injury concerns that have gone on throughout his career. He never really played a ton of games throughout a season until really last year where he played 134. I want to extend the dude, DiNardo. Like, I don't want to let this guy go. He is winning this team baseball games.
He's on a 42 home run pace.
That'll play.
That'll play. He's got a 158 weighted runs created plus. He is on a pace of hitting 42 home runs. Now he has played pretty much every day. And that's the one thing we talked about as well. Like injuries will happen with him. But so far, so good. You're talking about extending. Someone today, on the postgame show was talking about we need to fill the ballots with Brandon Lowe so we can be the all-star second base. Tyler, that's what I said. I don't know if this team needs, or I don't know if Brandon Lowe needs help from this team's fan base. This dude is balling out. He is legit as they come.
And he's doing it while not hitting lefties, really. I know he has two homers off of lefties this year so far, but he's hitting 143 off them. It's not like he's, really nothing's really changed throughout his career about his deficiencies against left-handed pitching.
Sure, right.
But he's doing just enough against them. He still hit 2 of them. They have him in a spot in the lineup where I think he's kind of helped O'Neal Cruz a good bit as well throughout this year. Really based on his start alone. He's giving some lineup protection there. I think we're seeing some of that kind of come through with Brian Reynolds as well, hitting a little bit better in the 3 spot. He just lengthens the lineup so much, adds some much needed pop in a spot they just did not have it before. Jim's asking if we're apologizing for taking the under. No, I'm not really apologizing to Brandon Lowe. I'm just more pointing out this dude rocks. I love this dude. Plus, he's look, I can stand next to him and look normal. Unlike you two Jolly Green Giants.
You are about the same size.
Yeah, it makes no sense. It kind of does. I could hit a homer off of Kyle Hendrick.
I kind of am apologizing for taking the under because it's apparently I didn't recognize your game as well as I should have. And again, I liked your game because I loved the trade. But right now, he has the highest ISO he's ever had in his career. And actually, that doesn't count today with a home run. So it's probably even, 306. So his ISO right now is 306 with today's home run. Highest ever, by a lot. 2020. That's going to be one of those years. His highest ISO and his highest slugging. His slugging was 554 that year. His slugging right now is 573. He's never hit the ball this hard ever. And that's where the apology comes into play. That I'm apologizing for the home run stuff. But I just want to, like you said, also turn this into this Brandon Lowe talk and conversation to some level because he's having an absurd start to the season. Because even on Brandon Lowe's level, he's doing some amazing stuff. The batting average is about what you expected at 266, that's nothing crazy, but his BABIP is actually really low also. That's 274 BABIP. BABIP, of course. But he's walking the most he ever has.
Mm-hmm.
That's the biggest thing. He's just, okay, we're apologizing because we took the under on the home runs and the power has been legit. But just also to give Brandon Lowe some props. This is the best version of Brandon Lowe that Brandon Lowe has basically produced so far.
And one of the biggest concerns we had about him coming into this year, and we'll probably get some of it, but was the defense. Even eye test wise, he's been good defensively. And the numbers back that up as well, but you can tell when a guy's not good defensively. We've watched Brian Reynolds try to play the corner outfield position all year. We know when you're not good defensively. He's playing a pretty solid second base right now for a guy that there were parts of this offseason, at least I was wondering before all the other signings happened, is this guy going to have to DH or play first base a good bit? Because there was such a big drop-off, at least metric-wise, last year with the Rays. He has stepped up in a big way.
When the trade happened, all the stuff that you mentioned was stuff that we talked about. But at the end of the day, this team needed offense, and our discussion here was that's the trade-off. Like the defense is bad, but the offense is enough to trade off. Like it is what it is. You live with it. Tyler, we'll have to live with it. That's not what's happening here. I mean, of course, his offense is, again, one of the best versions we saw of Brandon Lowe. So you can absolutely live with that type of defense if he's producing this offense, but that's not the case here. He's an asset defensively. You talked about the eye test, and the eye test has absolutely been that. I mean, especially early in the year, and I think it was more noticeable because the defense as a whole was really, really bad. But there was times, like I remember, I think it was Jim and I on a post-game show when it was like Brandon Lowe, I think went 0 for 4, maybe even 0 for 5 that particular game. But it was Brandon Lowe who really won that game for the Pirates because defensively what he was able to do to prevent runs on the other team. That actually, like, even though he went 0 for 4, 0 for 5, he contributed, and it was probably the MVP of that game because of what he did defensively. The eye test, it's legit. When you look at the analytics also is legit. He is a +3 and outs above average. A +3. Last year, 1 percentile, -14. That's why we're talking about this guy just can't play defense. That was the talk. Brandon Lowe just cannot be a middle infielder. He is a detriment to the team. As you mentioned, maybe he should be DHing a lot more or whatever. This is like Corey Dickerson all over again. Yeah. And I say that because, of course, the Rays. But, I mean, Corey Dickerson was bad. And then he came into left field. PNC Park's left field. Like, what a task. And dude was like, oh, I'm going to become a Gold Glover.
He has been flat out outstanding. And I hope they find a way to give him some more days off because, I mean, he's not young. Young generally, but he's 31 years old. God, I'm older than him. Damn.
Sucks to be you.
Damn.
Why are you so old?
But I mean, he's been just really outstanding at second base. And I do wonder how much that has to do and how much credit needs to be given to maybe the Pirates analytics department and positioning him in a better spot. I wonder how much that does have to play into it as well, because when Neil Walker went to the Mets, if you remember, he was an absolutely atrocious second baseman with the Pirates at that point.
Sorry, Neil.
Yeah. He couldn't do it anymore. He looked like he was done there and you were going to have to move him to first base very soon. And then he went to the Mets and he played a really good second base. And I think a lot of that was just positioning and things like that. I wonder how much that plays into it, but also, I mean, I don't know what the hell happened, to be honest with you. I don't know, but he looks like a legitimate professional second baseman. I don't know what happened. It's been good.
Don't care.
I don't want to overthink it. It's been good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not smart enough for it.
I think he's absolutely like the first on our list. And again, for those reasons, but like also just a good time to really prop him up because he has been better than even like I think like the most opportunistic minded Pirates fans. He's been the better version that you ever anticipated of getting. And like, even like, again, like the metrics offensively as well, defensively, like they all back up like what he is doing. This guy's balling out right now. And like I talked a little bit on the post game today, like he had a stretch in early April where he was struggling a little bit. Outside of that, day in and day out, I mean, this guy wins games, keeps the team in games. He's hitting for power. He's doing everything. He's getting on base. Just he's the dude. He's the dude.
Him and O'Hearn both. Like, it's just been a breath of fresh air.
Or people might even say a fresh of breath air. Some people do.
Some people do say that. And some people are also stupid.
Right. But separate boxes on the Venn diagram.
There's
boxes,
no flap there.
Not circles.
Yep. The box of a Venn diagram. I've seen many of those.
Correct.
Yeah. Both of them, like, similar types of deals. They're playing defense at a level that I didn't expect from them, and they're hitting at a level that is out freaking standing and kind of carrying this team to this point.
For sure. So that was one that we both had to apologize. Let's go to some individual ones. Do you want to start or me?
I'll go ahead and start because it seems like the chat just wants me to bring it up. Yes, Gregory
Everyone
Soto,
knows.
guys. Gregory Soto looks like he is moving into the ninth inning role a little bit more at least. I don't know if they're giving up on Dennis Santana at this point, but he's getting more of those opportunities right now. Soto, after today, another great outing, down to a 1.42 ERA. The FIP is at 2.45. Hand up, guys. Yes, I know. I remember what I said. Didn't like the signing at all. Didn't like the money they threw at him. Thank God they threw that money at him, because with Dennis Santana struggling the way he has, Gregory Soto has kind of he's really just put a bandage on this bullpen right now. Those late innings could be really bumpy because we've seen Isaac Mattson struggle. We've seen the recent struggles with Dennis Santana. Gregory Soto has been that constant right now. You see him do it against lefties. He can do it against righties. He's getting 4 or 5 out saves. He can get guys out in a multitude of ways. The strikeout rate's crept up a little bit. The walk rate hasn't gone crazy. There you go, right there. You got baseball savant in front of you. See all that red? That means he's been really good. He's been really good.
Red circles, baby.
Red means good. He's been very good. I didn't like the signing. I thought the walks were going to be a major problem. I thought the consistency was going to be a problem. He's been very consistent. Expected ERA at 1.92. It's been great. He has been awesome. I'm glad they didn't listen to me.
That's the one thing. Again, I get red circle, blue circle, but it's all, of course, like how you interpret it and such. But I mean, there is some like good data here. I mean, obviously his numbers support what he's doing. He has been balling out, and he's deserved and earned every opportunity to get those ninth inning opportunities. Dennis Santana has struggled a bit lately, and we'll talk more about him. But I guess the positive to that is when you have a guy like Dennis Santana struggling, when you have a guy like Gregory Soto there who has closed games for the Tigers, he's been their closer. Like, he has that experience. He is balling out, and you feel comfortable. Like, you know what? Santana doesn't have it, but you know what? I don't feel any drop off or anything. I mean, I bet there's certain people that feel much better that Soto's going to close out games than Santana. And I'm not here to say they're right or wrong, you know, but that's what's nice about Soto right now. So I liked, and that's the thing too, is like, I liked the Soto signing. I understand your argument, especially at that time. You know, $7 million for him. Things are shaky. He's more of an asset than anything, but you know, it's not pretty all the time. But yes, man, you said like credit to the analytics team and such on Brandon Lowe. The one thing about this Pirates staff and the system and such, we always talk about, especially for lefties, like they find ways to make them better, play up. Maybe Gregory Soto just adds to that list because he looks every bit as dominant right now. You talk about the expected ERA. We know his ERA at what it is and how good it is, but like expected 97 percentile, 1.91. Expecting batting average, a 147, 99 percentile. You know, like he's not having guys chase much his pitches, but they can't connect with it. Like his stuff is filthy, as you see here. Guys are striking out right and left against him. And then when they do make contact, when they do, which is not often, but when they do, it is some of the weakest stuff that you see. Soto has been excellent. And for this bullpen, he's, in my eyes, you can make an argument for others, but truly, like, he has been the MVP of this bullpen.
I completely agree. And you talked about some of the analytics that the Pirates have looked at here. I think part of that is that they've really pushed one thing that's their bread and butter is that sweeper. And he started throwing it a couple years ago, and it wasn't used much. Last year, he used it at a rate of 7.6%. This year, we're up to 27.7% with the sweeper. It's kind of replaced the slider a little bit. He's still throwing it at a decent clip, 15%. But last year, you look at him, the sinker was thrown half the time. They changed the pitch mix with him, found something that worked, still throwing the sinker primarily, but that sweeper's been a weapon.
Yes.
Batting
what's
average.
funny, like, what do we talk about for year
0.80.
after year after year with this team? Like, they just go out, like Justin Lawrence, perfect example. Like, if you got a sweeper, you're on the Pirates list.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you know what? Maybe I should have looked more into that during this entire process. I just looked at walk rate, struggled, $7.5 million. I know they're not going to spend much more. Damn, why'd they spend it on this? Granted, they did end up spending a little bit more after that, but they found something that worked with him right now to this point. He's been the constant that they've needed out of the bullpen.
For sure. Absolutely. I mean, just like Steel City DW said here, I put on the screen earlier, but ponders what the Bucks 2026 win-loss would be without Soto. And I agree. For a reliever, he's been super valuable. Now, again, I do say, like, Johan Ramirez, I think you could also, the numbers aren't as sexy, again, like, they're not, but I think you could also make an argument that he could be entertained as, an MVP of this bullpen as well. And let's maybe talk a little about him also, because if you don't recall, not too long ago, Dauri Moreta signed with a team overseas because the Pirates were like, nah, we're good. We don't want your services, big bank, with your stupid, silly reverse slider and such. We don't want all this stuff here. We don't want that. Fan favorite, also productive. We're going to go with Johan Ramirez. What? What? Dowry's right there.
For the third time?
For the third time. Yeah. Yeah. If at first you don't succeed, just sign him again.
He has been, I mean, all things considered, he's been fine. Last night really inflated a lot, or 2 nights ago really inflated a lot of things with his numbers. They've won a couple games because Johan Ramirez exists on this team. Starter gets in trouble, Johan Ramirez eats some innings. And hell, even if they don't win those games, there's been times where they win the next game because Johan Ramirez was able to eat some innings, keep a game going, and not burn the rest of the bullpen. His stuff's wicked. Like,
and it always has been. Like, I'll give him that
don't know
credit.
where it's going.
Right.
But when he's on, that slider is impressive. And like I said, there's just been multiple times throughout this year where I feel like he's stepped into a spot where the Pirates should not win a game, or they just need to eat some innings. And he's come through in a way that has been very, very good. Not to mention, just when we were down in spring training, just being around some people and hearing people talk about him, they spoke extremely highly of Johan Ramirez and what he brings to the clubhouse. That alone,
to add to that, because I don't want this like swept under the rug. The Marcelo Zuna signing, it was weird because it almost felt like the production was secondary in the sense of what was talked about of the value he brings to the clubhouse and how, like, O'Neill, like, what he can do for these other guys, how valuable he was, his personality, his leadership, him being in that clubhouse. What doesn't get talked about enough is what you heard there by the people among themselves. Johan being almost identical to that for the pitchers.
People speak very, very highly of Johan Ramirez and what he brings to a clubhouse. And it's just been really cool to see him kind of carry that on the other end as well as a pitcher to a point where you don't have to argue about whether you should keep him on this roster right now. He deserves a spot on this team. Like, you can have that argument about Billy Cook. And Billy Cook seems like a cool dude to be around, and he seems fun. Right. Billy Cook's not a very good baseball player.
But are you just a vibes guy?
Right. Johan Ramirez is proving
Johan's
he is not just a vibes guy.
Right.
At least at this point. He's been very, very enjoyable to watch, and he's a guy you root for, I think.
Well, yeah, he's on the team, so I'm certainly rooting for him right now.
You know, just in general.
But yes, of course. Right. There's certainly been some players on this team that you don't root for. So right. there's that too. But sure. I mean, you talked about like him being good because a starter, goes out early and he has to pick up innings. But I mean, Tyler, early on in the season, he was in some real big moments in extra innings that, like, again, if he's not there now, Johan, again, clean up the throws at first base. But outside of that, there's been some big moments that you mentioned about how many wins this team have. He came through clutch a number of times when this team was in extra innings that they ended up winning that game because he was there. Now, it didn't look pretty every time, but he persevered. He got through it. He fought. And like that earned some respect.
Yeah, like just looking through here, like there was that Cubs game. And like you said, it's not the prettiest thing ever. Some of these nights he's effectively wild, but we're talking about a guy with like a 4 ERA out of the pen that's eating a lot of times close to 2 to sometimes 3 innings a night on a team that really doesn't have anyone giving them length because this bullpen doesn't really have that guy that can go eat 2 or 3 innings. He's still Jared
5
Jones
times he's pitched at least 2 innings this year. And then 7 times he's pitched more than 1. But right.
No, he's a fun guy to root for. And I'm glad I'm glad it's working out because I want team to be good. So thank you, Johan. I thought it was stupid to keep here too, but it is one of those things where like you hear some people talk about him a little bit more that are way more involved with the team than we are. And like you understand it a little bit more, I think.
Yeah. Well, let's do this. And I just realized clearly they changed their YouTube name because of this. MLB Front Office 64,000 says they're ready for the commercial. So I'm going to go to my guy next. I want to apologize after we kick it to Cody.
This episode is brought to you by IQ Bar, our exclusive snack hydration sponsor. IQ Bar protein bars, IQ Mix hydration mixes, and IQ Joe mushroom coffees are the delicious, low-sugar, brain and body fuel you need to win your day. The Ultimate Sampler Pack is a great way for you to try all IQ Bar products and flavors. You get 9 IQ bars, 8 IQ Mix sticks, and 4 IQ Joe sticks. All IQ Bar products are clean label certified and entirely free from gluten, dairy, soy, GMOs, and artificial ingredients. With over 20,000 5-star reviews and counting, more people than ever are fueling their lifestyles with IQ Bar's brain and body boosting bars, hydration mixes, and mushroom coffees. The Ultimate Sampler Pack includes all 3. My personal favorites so far have been the almond butter chip and the iced tea lemonade hydration mix. It's just really full of flavor. I love starting my day with it, and I couldn't imagine starting my day with anything else other than IQ Bar products. Right now, IQ Bar is offering our podcast listeners 20% off all IQ Bar products, including the Ultimate Sampler Pack, plus free shipping. To get your 20% off, text MLB to 64,000. That's MLB 64000. Message and data rates may apply. See terms for details.
Tyler just getting back from eating his chapstick.
Wow. What timing.
Things you love to see. Look at that timing. So I'm going to say this one. This is the guy I want to apologize to. And again, it's not because I didn't like believe in your talents. Kind of like Brandon Lowe, right? I believe in your talents, but I was a big proponent of trading you. And again, this is less of because of your talents and more because the talents of another person. I just didn't think this team could be good with Mitch Keller on it. And right now, there's so many MVPs on this team. Brandon Lowe is an MVP. Paul Skeens is an MVP. Gregory Soto is an MVP. Johan Ramirez is an MVP. Like, you can look at Mitch Keller and you're kind of an MVP on this team too. I mean, granted, also, like, according to Fangraphs, today he had a good start. I'm only going to assume he was only 0.1 as far as WAR goes below Paul Skeens today. I think he's going to have a higher WAR tomorrow than Paul Skeens. With that said, Mitch Keller has been a dog this year. As mentioned, 8 starts, 6 out of 8. He's given up 2 runs or less. 6 out of 8. He's gone 6 innings or more. Like, Paul Skeens is the ace of this team. Like, no question. Paul Skeens is a generational player. But Mitch Keller has added value to this team like the Johan Ramirez way. He's saved this bullpen. He's been able to stop the bleeding when this team was on that skid. Today he goes out there, wins a series. Mitch Keller has been super valuable to this team in these 8 games so far. And I'm just sorry I even entertained the idea of trading you. I'm an idiot.
Well, yeah. Next.
Oh, really? You're going to hang me out to dry like that?
I mean, let's be honest here. It's still May. We need to see Mitch Keller do this throughout an entire season. We know what happens in the second half of the year, these past couple seasons with Mitch. Me and Jim both, I don't think either of us were on board with really trading him. We might have, fluctuated here and there about it makes sense. But they found a way to add offense to this team without giving up Mitch Keller. And thank God they were able to do that. Because, I mean, you just look back at last week, the start of the Red Series. You saw other guys have the opportunity to be that stopper. We saw Paul Skeens have the opportunity to be a stopper. Mitch Keller goes out there and absolutely becomes a stopper. He's that veteran guy in this rotation. Strikeout rate's down. There are some worries there, I still think. But 316 FIP is kind of encouraging. I mean, the expected ERA slightly concerning, I think. But he's eating innings at a really good rate right now. I think he probably could have won another one today if you really wanted him to. I think at the end of the day, and I don't want to defend DiNardo ever. I don't know if we expected them to be able to get a bat like Brandon Lowe without giving up a guy like a Mitch Keller.
Right.
And maybe we were just dumb for that because Brandon Lowe was on an expiring deal.
To be fair for both of us and everything, 2 things. We didn't think that, but we also didn't think they'd have a payroll they do this year. Which, again, like, it's nothing to brag about, but that's what we're getting at. We didn't even think they'd get there.
Right.
So, with all things considered, right.
He's in a rotation that it's really, at this point, there's a ton of upside here, obviously. Without Mitch Keller, it's just Paul Skeens and Braxton Ashcraft. And coming into this year, Braxton Ashcraft was a question mark. And he still kind of is because he's never really been an innings eater in his life. Bubba Chandler's been...
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't need to say anything. We all know.
Yeah. And then you got Carmen Majinski. So looking back, it did make sense to maybe move on from Mitch Keller and acquire someone and open up some money. Thank God they didn't, because Mitch Keller has been exactly what this team needs. They needed a steady presence in the middle of this rotation, and he's pitching like a number 2.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you're starting to, like, I wonder if you're starting to see Mitch be a little bit more comfortable because he doesn't have to be that leader of this rotation like he has been over the course of his career. Paul Skeens is right there. Like, I can hand the baton here and just do my job. I wonder if that maybe plays into this a touch, but I'm not going to sit here and be armchair quarterbacking it, but he's just been good. He's been good.
Yeah.
I'm glad they didn't trade him. Thank you, Mitch Keller, for not sucking.
I mean, though, it could be that. Again, like, we're not here to do that, but it is nice when you have a solid group of guys around you that are also good, and it's not like I have to be the guy. So there's maybe part of that. But you say like the expected ERA, like that kind of worries you, like in the FIP too, and said like all that's still better than he's had in his career. You know,
True.
like we're fine with Mitch Keller as he is. He is pitching better. Now, of course, second half is what really matters. And we're going to find out about that soon. In some relevancy, we've seen this before. But he has been huge for this first. How many days did you say it was? Whatever it was.
I don't know. I made it up.
these first, month and 2 weeks, more or less. He has been huge. So, yeah, I'm sorry for ever even entertaining the fact of trading you. But that also goes to the next guy. And this is something for both of us as well. To some levels, we owe an apology here too. Because the reason I wanted Mitch Keller is because I didn't believe in your ass. We wanted you fired. How are we going to go into this year with the same people ahead, same people in charge, same GM that just can't get out of last place, essentially? And that's Ben Cherington. And to be fair, he's done a lot of things right this year. A lot. Like, you can argue the Marcell Ozuna signing, like that has not gone well, and that's a lot of money also, right? But honestly, Tyler, what complaints do you really have with this roster and this team right now and everything?
Their outfield defense is so bad.
Fair. Because honestly,
it is so bad.
Defensively, and I talk about defensively, but when it comes to outfield defense,
loser. You're all a bunch of losers.
It's that bad.
It's so bad.
Offense is different.
Yeah, we saw a little bit of a shift in Ben Cherington, I feel like, where he kind of broadened his horizon and decided that this was the year he was going to try to acquire some guys that can hit a baseball. Seemed like for a while he was just trying to acquire guys that could play a lot of positions or find an inefficiency somewhere by, these guys are really toolsy. They can play a lot of positions, or they're really good defensively. And we're going to build a pitching staff that's really good. And then a bunch of really good defensive players and pray that works. Well, that never worked. They were terrible. All of them sucked. This year, he decided he was going to acquire all the hitters, and defense be damned. And defense be damned it has been.
Oh, it's damned. Except for Brandon. What's funny is Brandon Lowe's like the best defender on the team.
And I mean, to be fair, it's worked to this point. I'm not ready to apologize to him yet because he gave me like 6 of the worst years of my life watching this team. But
that's fair.
The moves he made for this season have been very good. Ryan O'Hearn playing right field and playing it at a really good level was not something I ever expected. Brandon Lowe playing second base at the level he plays it was not something I expected. Another guy that we probably need to apologize to, Nick Gonzalez, playing third base, looking like the guy that they drafted as this guy's going to win a batting title. Well, hell, he's up there.
Yeah.
The Nick Gonzalez that we never saw throughout the minor leagues or throughout his professional career. We're seeing that high average guy right now. Everything has just been coming up Ben to this point. So this has probably been the best month and a half of his Pirates tenure.
I mean, easily.
I mean, there was a
Without
point,
a
like
shadow of
22,
doubt.
23, whatever year that was, that didn't suck. But yeah, I mean, everything he's done looks sustainable and looks good.
For sure. Any more apologies that we have to give out right now?
No,
Or
I'm
are
tired
we
of
good?
apologizing. No, because there's a
So-
lot of guys that I would like to kick a little more, but I won't because the Pirates are 21-17.
Okay, that's fair too. So let's go ahead and talk about, you brought it up today, Mark, game 162 of Don Kelly's tenure as the Pirates manager. So we have officially a full year under Don Kelly. And in that full year, he is now 80-82. Now, obviously, no one should be celebrating 80-82. We shouldn't have a parade going on for 80-82. We shouldn't be ecstatic because, oh my God, you're 2 games under 500. However, we are a Pirates podcast. And when's the last time we even saw 80-82? For one. But for two, also, like, I think there's something to say because that team last year was awful. And even with that awful team and so far this year, like 80-82, I think speaks to some level. But in that now full year, what have we seen from Donny Ball?
Occasional insanity. Some great vibes. And a little bit more occasional insanity that sometimes works out. I know a lot of people talk about Don Kelly being like Derek Shelton 2.0 when things don't go right. And yeah, it's fun to criticize a manager. I do it too. I get it. There are things he does that I think are completely stupid. There's also things like he did today where he brings in Dennis Santana early in a game. They're able to get through that. There's been times where, like, the bullpen usage seems strange. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't, but I think it's a lot different than Derek Shelton, to be honest with you. And I think the guys, at least to this point, and we're not some sort of insiders here, but we were at spring training. Like, everyone saw the vibes. Everyone saw how this team felt. You saw how they bounced back after that Cardinals series. Were there times under Derek Shelton they probably did that as well? Yeah. And so far, I think it's been... I don't even know how to describe it, man. Do you think they'd be in a better spot with someone else as the manager? I don't think they would be. So for that, I think Don Kelly's done a good job.
Yeah, that's a fair question. And it's unknown. And it's hard to quantify that. Again, like, that's what makes the managerial talk interesting. It's totally subjective. And basically the nerds say that there's not much of a difference. And when I say nerds, like, yeah, like Neil, you're a nerd, you fall in that. And that's why your whole Shelton thing, like, I mean, you're a nerd. That's why nobody likes you. Nerd. But no, but for real, like, but that's the thing, like, managers don't have that much of an imprint. When it comes to wins and losses, again, the players have to perform. Now, there are some managers that are very analytical, and I think do a good job in that sense. But I've always felt, we've talked about this so many times, Tyler. I mean, so many times, that I just truly believe, because I don't think there's that much of an imprint they have on the game in that sense. I mean, there's some. I mean, some decisions are just so stupid. But ultimately, I think what makes a really good manager is having that clubhouse. That's what makes a really good manager. I mean, you have to manage the team. You have to manage your coach. You have to have your imprints on everything. So you need to make sure it all comes together. So that's the thing. Like, when it comes to the game, the preparation is done before the game. When it comes to the game, like, the players got to do their job. Sure, there's some stuff that you're going to do might be Might be dumb. And I do think that maybe Don Kelly needs to let the game breathe a little more. Maybe he tries to overmanage. I think that's a fair criticism. You know, like, let your dudes be them dudes. You know, you can go back to the Brandon Lowe, like when he pinch hit for him. Like, I know it's a lefty, but like, this dude's on fire. Like, Brandon Lowe's here for a reason. Let him be the reason that this team wins. Don't make Billy Cook the reason this team loses. That's like the difference, you know? Well, whoever it was.
Yeah.
They weren't worthy.
Either.
Right. So, I think that's fair criticism. But again, I will always side that I think the most important job of the manager is that team, that clubhouse, managing personalities, managing people, being a leader. And for that, I thought Shelton, that was a better of his quality. And that's what I liked about him early on. And I think he really lost that. And I think it was very evident. And as things stand right now, I think Don Kelly excels at that. I think it's very natural for him. Now things could change, but as we see right now, again, like, and you saw it, we saw it, and you heard nonstop about it when we were down there. Like, this clubhouse from day one, like, they just bought into this. The messages he was sending, the fact that they have the welder's mask, like, that's. But I'm saying, like, that's Don Kelly. Whether you think it or not, I mean, it's just like, we are going to represent Pittsburgh. We are going to have an identity. What is the thing we talked about with Shelton for years? Like, what is this team's identity? Don Kelly from day one is like, we are going to have an identity. And this team's buying into it so much that, like, we're getting a welder's mask. You know, like, they're not from Pittsburgh. They don't know what the hell this is. Half the players are like, this is the first time I've ever been here. But they bought in. They buy into the manager, the city, the organization, the team, and they're playing balls to the wall pretty much every single night, and they're never out of it. And to me, that's Donny Ball.
That's Donny Ball. I love that.
Yeah.
But I mean, hell, you saw Henry Davis after he hit his first home run. Like, he couldn't wait to put that damn welder's mask on.
Finally.
But I think one of the things that we're watching with Don Kelly, and we talk about Connor Griffin all the time, and watching him grow as a player, I think we're also watching Don Kelly grow as a manager. Like, he's new to this too. We're still talking about a guy that's 162 games into managing a Major League Baseball team. You see it right now. How long would it have taken Derek Shelton to remove, or not really remove, we don't know yet, but to make an adjustment to the bullpen and let Gregory Soto go be that ninth inning guy for a little bit and let Dennis Santana figure it out? I don't know. It didn't really happen, but we saw him let David Bednar struggle out there every ninth inning forever. Until he finally got sent down and figured it out. I think those are little things we're watching Don Kelly kind of learn on the job, like the Brandon Lowe getting pinch hit for Nick York. That did happen again after that, but didn't love that either. But I think we're seeing him grow as a manager, learn his team, and kind of learn when to trust the numbers versus gut.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to just seeing him. I mean, hell, we've seen him kind of just move Marcell Ozuna around a little bit as well. I'm just interested in seeing Don Kelly find his way through this managerial career, because he's not afraid to make a change. He's not afraid to make an adjustment. I don't think he is a manager that is arrogant enough to think my way is the best way, and if it doesn't work, it's the player's fault. I think we see a guy that's more open to making adjustments to this team, and that, I think, has been enjoyable for me.
I agree. I'm positive on him. Again, like, is it the best? Is he the best man? Like, I'm not here saying that. You know, if the Pirates had Terry Francona, are they 22-16? I mean, maybe, I don't know. I think he's doing a good job though. And that's why I say, like, I'll always go back to this. This isn't the only reason to support, my discussion here and stuff, but it's like when you go back to that Cubs, Guardians, then Indians series, it's like Terry Francona managed the hell of that series. Like, you want to talk about a guy who knows his X's and O's. I mean, he pulled all the strings. Who won? The dummy in the other dugout. Right? Because that's what he excelled at. That's why he's been different clubhouses and he's looked at, Joe Maddon's many as an excellent manager and such. He's not the smartest. He makes a lot of decisions like, what the hell is he doing? But that guy just knows how to communicate. Clint Hurdle, like, he made some decisions a lot that you're like, what the hell are we doing? But you want to talk about a leader among men, a guy who just knows how to communicate. That was him. And I see more of that of Don Kelly. So that's all. I think it's good, though, to talk about this again. This now his full first year, more or less, 162. Keep it going. Let's continue that growth and let's go somewhere this year.
I agree. And I'm looking forward to just kind of watching this team grow together. Like, it's been a very enjoyable first month. And a month where, unlike a few years ago where they started off hot, but it never really felt real because there wasn't a ton of it. It was kind of a 1-year plan. Let's try to be good enough this year. This is the first step of a building block almost. It should be on like 4th step, but old boy Ben Cherington took his good old time.
Yeah.
Let's just have some fun. Let's have some fun watching this thing.
And that's the thing. They are doing it. Now, again, like, winning cures a lot. So it's easier to have fun when you are winning. But, like, this is the team that was void of personality. And it's like all those guys you thought that it didn't have a personality, you're finding out that they actually do, and it's there.
Right.
So, like, maybe, it's an environment that they want to be in and around, and now it's fun.
Brian Reynolds can't field a baseball, but my God, he's smiling in the dugout.
And he's making in his own way. But, like, now you're understanding his personality. You thought he didn't have a personality. Now it's like, oh, now I understand it. Because he's showing it a lot more. And Paul? What the hell?
Yeah.
What the hell?
He's coming into his own. Just
what the hell?
He is coming into his own as the leader of this team, and
I love his personality, by the way.
Yeah. I love the fact that they're all just like, there's a good bit of dudes on this team. They're just kind of dicks.
They're like dudes.
They're kind of like me. Like,
it's our group chat.
They're just a bunch of smart asses.
Yes.
It's enjoyable. That part is. Like, they're all just a bunch of smart asses.
Love it. Love it.
But all right, hey, you know what's wild though? The Reds are now below the Pirates through FanDuel. Pirates now in 3rd place to win the division at plus 700. The Reds drop below them. It's going to be a battle to the end with the Brewers and the Cubs. Like, Cardinals are eventually going to fall off here. They will not maintain this, and the Reds stink. The Reds stink out loud. So, hey, FanDuel starting to recognize a little bit. Plus 700 to win the division. I don't know if I jump on that yet, but it might be a better time to jump on it now than ever. You never know.
Never know. Let's wrap this up real quick. We talked about Soto, how good he's been. And I think that's why this is even some relevant discussion. Let's end this on, are you worried about Dennis Santana? His velocity's down almost a whole mile per hour. He was really, he was excellent to start the season as well, but his last few times out there, he has not been as good. He's given up runs, ERA over, I don't think it's over.
Yeah, it's bad. We're below 4 again, but
okay.
We're at 378 now. FIP's at 530. Yeah, I'm slightly concerned about him. And it's mainly because he's just not missing bats and he's walking too many people.
Yeah.
We did see a little bit more of a dope version of him today. I think 7 strikes on 13 pitches. Still had a walk in there.
That's still not. I was gonna say I still want to consider this.
I mean,
Today
13
wasn't
pitches
great
in an
either.
inning, not bad though.
The 7 strikes though, like that's not Dennis Santana.
No. Yeah, he's not getting the ball on the ground at all. He's walking too many guys, not missing any bats. I think he needs a little bit of a reset here. And like you said, that fastball velocity. Maybe they should have traded him. Sorry, Doug.
Well, yeah, like I don't want to worry yet because more games he's been excellent.
Yeah.
Still early in the year, and in some sense, I mean, there's pitchers, the relief pitchers we're not going to really name right now that kind of always had like a rough April, and then they just went lights out. And you always talk about the velocity too in April, and then it normalized and such. His slider's getting eaten alive though. And what's funny is the slider's getting eaten alive, but it's actually expected to be better than what it is. So, you know what? Okay, maybe it's been a little unlucky. The thing is, all the other pitchers are outperforming like their expected numbers. Like there's all the others are supposed to be kind of bad too, to some level. So yeah, like I am worried because he's getting hit kind of hard. The velocity's down. Like I think what they're doing though is right. It's like, I mean, they think going back to Don Kelly, you kind of recognize it. It's not, you're going to be stubborn, and Santana's our guy. Like pretty quickly, it's like, well, let's get Soto in there, and they've given Soto opportunities, and he's done a good job. And I can see him sticking with that for now. So that's why the worry is a little less too, because it's not as a guy you're depending to be under closure, and that's it. But him as the pitcher, I'm monitoring. I'll say that. I'm not going to worry because he has a track record right now that like you've earned this. And it's okay to have a bad week. It happens. It happens. I mean, Bednar's had bad weeks, and he comes out and has an excellent year. I mean, the 1 year was a down, obviously, but like outside of his terrible 2024, he's been an excellent closer. But he certainly had his moments where it's like, uh-oh. So it's a bad week. Soto's there to save you and protect you and be that closer, and he's in that role right now. It almost kind of seems like maybe. But yeah, I'm not going to go into worry mode, but I'm definitely watching. But there are valid reasons to be monitoring.
That's fair. I'm starting to get concerned. That's all. Just
that's fair.
But I mean, Mark Melancon was a guy that it took him a while. Hopefully Dennis Santana can figure it out quickly because they need him in the back end of this bullpen.
Yeah, well, you said Melancon, and that is true. The one I was going with is the one that will keep nameless. But he had some rough Aprils also. And I was like, oh, his velocity's way down. What's going on? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I guess outside of that, we good?
We're all good.
Just to double check. No response from Hannah.
Dang.
Disappointed.
We tried.
You sent out bad vibes to start the show with your chapstick. That's why.
Yeah. You know what? If I would have brought the chapstick up, she might have replied. But you win some, you lose some.
There it is. Well, let's get out of here. Pirates play the Giants tomorrow. Definitely a winnable series again. I mean, even though they're on the West Coast, they took care of business against the Diamondbacks that on paper right now is a better team. You know, record-wise, the Giants are, man, they're one of the worst teams in baseball at this point in time, the way they're playing. So good time to play them at least, because I don't think they're void of talent, but they're not playing well. So 2 out of 3 here would be huge. 4 out of 6 West Coast.
It would be.
Yeah,
that would be nice.
Yep. So we'll see you guys tomorrow. Oh, Tailgate. The link's in the description. Link is in the description. June 13th. We've been saying it. That's our next tailgate. We do have the actual link so you guys can get your tickets. Same deal. We have like 100 tickets for our section. They all come with $10 preloaded value. So go ahead and buy the tickets on that link down in our description here below. We'll have the actual announcement out somewhere as well. You guys can get your tickets. Show up to the tailgate. Once again, sponsored by Permanis. We'll have the sandwiches out there. Maybe some more cones. I mean, that thing seems like it's still rotting out. So it'll be a good time. So yeah, go ahead and get your tickets in that link, and we'll see you guys there. Oh, yes. How can I forget? And we didn't get to do it because it was raining. We're supposed to go on the field and take a group picture last time. Hopefully on June 13th, it's not raining, because if so, we won't be able to do it. But if it's not, we'll be able to do catch on the field this time. So that's the perk. So not only do you get $10 preloaded value, but after the game, we all get to go on the field and play catch. So I guess bring a glove or catch barehanded. Be a man.
Yeah, why not?
Anything else, Ty?
No, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here. I got to play Neil on NCAA.
Tough.
So. That nerd. All right. Yeah. Bye-bye.
Peace out.
All right, that wraps up this episode of North Shore 9. Thanks so much for tuning in, whether you're listening on the podcast or catching us on YouTube. If you enjoyed the show, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. It really helps us grow. And if you're listening on the podcast, a quick review goes a long way in helping others find the show. Plus, be sure to tell a friend about us. There's always room for more here in the NS9 community. And for those looking to support us a little more, consider joining our Patreon, become an MVP member, and get exclusive perks while helping us continue to bring you more of the Pirates content you love. Thanks again for all your support, and let's go Bucks.